there's been a segregation tax. Black folks know this very well. And of course, and that's what social scientists call the undervaluation of homes in black neighborhoods. Now, on average, the same home in a white neighborhood is worth nearly $50,000 more than the same home in a black neighborhood. Overall, that's $156 billion in lost value for black homeowners. All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. We transition into the holiday season. This is the time when we start thinking about giving and sharing. Sometimes the best gift to give somebody is an opportunity that could potentially change their lives economically. That's why our friends at Transatlantic Real Estate have created an investment opportunity for the everyday investor. It involves legal marijuana and crowdfunding. No, we ain't trying to give you weed. We're trying to get you to make money off of weed. Now, we all know that legal marijuana has created one of the fastest growing industries in America, a multi-billion-dollar industry. We also know that crowdfunding makes it easy to be an early investor to get in on an opportunity. It really is a no-brainer. But it gets even better. Transatlantic Real Estate is different. They have a business model that is simple to understand. They buy land that supports marijuana grow operations and lease it to licensed, high-paying tenants. Now, did you hear that? You are investing in the landlord of a licensed marijuana farm in a high-growth market. And for a limited time, you can invest as little as $300 up to $10,000 before the company goes public. Now, here's some more good news. They recently extended the offer, which means you still have time if you take action now. Now, keep in mind, you must complete and confirm your application to participate. So be sure to complete the process. Now, look, don't spend all your money over the holidays and end up with empty pockets and buying stuff that you're not going to be able to use a year from now. Instead, get a return on your investment. You can also consider making an investment for someone special. Now, how's that for a holiday gift? Yes, you're welcome. To get started, go to marijuanastock.org. That's marijuanastock.org to get in the game right now. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video. And that segregation tax has a big effect on what happens in those black neighborhoods. Joining us right now is the author of a new report detailing the damage from this. He's from the Brookings Institution's think tank. Joining us right now is Dr. Andre Perry. Back to Roland Martin Unfiltered. Now, Andre, of course, we've heard about this in so many other areas, but to see these numbers and see what that means is stunning for some people, because you talk about wealth. Again, Americans have been able to accrue wealth, home ownership, taking that money, reinvesting it, passing that money down through inheritance to their children, and so black folks have been getting the short end of the stick from the moment we were able to buy home.
Yeah, and when something goes wrong in the black community, people like to say it all starts at home. And what they are trying to say is that there's a cultural pathology in the black community. But the reality is that it does all start at home, but it's about the devaluation of black property. That $156 billion should be going into schools and other municipal services. It could pay for tuition. It would actually pay for more than 8 million college degrees at the public rate. It would fund more than 4 million businesses, given the rate that most black businesses start. It would have funded the entire Katrina recovery efforts. $156 billion changes lives. It's the money that's necessary to uplift our communities and individuals. And so it's an enormous number, and I'm glad that we have put the data out there, because some people look at it and say and get disheartened. I look at the numbers and say, hey, now we can name our price. You can go to brookings.edu, look up your metro area, and you can see the price difference. And because what's also encouraging, we know our homes are actually worth more than what they are priced, meaning that we should be investing more in our community. We should start businesses in our communities. We should take risk and improve our homes. the price is inaccurate. And then this comes after very rigorous data. If you look at the report, we control for everything from crime, housing structures. We control for walkability, transportation, all the major neighborhood and housing structure variables. And what we find is that the devaluation, and it's an enormous number.
And again, we're talking real money. We're talking, but people have to understand, again, by lower valuation, when you turn around and sell it, that means somebody's actually buying the house cheaper than it really should be. And then that keeps you from being able to take that additional money and then save it, invest it, or buy another home that has a higher value. So again, imagine this happening 2 or 3 times, then over generationally as well. That means that black folks who've been owning homes from the 20s, the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, now all of a sudden in the 21st century, we've been.
You know, I also want to emphasize that we've been criticizing black folk for not striving, not doing enough. But this shows that black Americans are actually striving for the American dream, that we're actually doing everything we're told, but we're taxed for doing so. And it's debilitating our communities. I mean, these are current numbers. This is not numbers in which I'm bringing from a cumulative amount of sum over years. This is what's going on now. Our homes should be worth more.
Yeah, but Doctor, if I may, Roland, I got a quick question. I understand the devaluation and the undervaluation, right? But what I don't understand is it money that I can't see because I never receive it? So if I live in a $100,000 house and it's really valued at $50,000 and it's redlined, it's got all these other things, how can I miss what I can't measure because it never evaluated up until its proper number?
Well, one thing great about researching this report, now we can see. Before we've known that this is happening.
So how do I go get it back then?
No,
or can I?
You can, and know that once you see what you're worth, then it becomes about communities animating what's going on inside their community to project that their homes should be worth more. And so some of it is on us to say, hey, our homes are worth more. Let's put maybe it might be as simple as a fresh coat of paint. It might be let's start a business in the community.
Right.
But the more we do to show that our homes are worth more, the greater the likelihood others will invest and folks in the community will invest in themselves. It's a dire situation, but there's hope behind the numbers.
I have a question as well.
Cleo, Reverend McCoy, then we're going on. Cleo, go ahead with your question.
Does your report explicitly break down cause and effect and what has led to this de-evaluation of property so people can understand what the cause looks like and what the elements are so people can deflect that?
We've long known the cause to be segregation, racial housing covenants, redlining that led to a lack of investment. It's just that,
and this is in the report.
That's in the report. Those prices have reflect some of that. It's just, and the overall number is black homes, homes in neighborhoods where 50% black or more, are worth half as much as the same home in white areas. But it's when you control for all of those other things, we also see that the price is lower than what it should be.
Right.
And so, yes, crime matters, education matters, all these things matter. But the concentration of blackness is lowering the price even further. It's almost as if people are saying, oh, there's 4 times more crime going on in that neighborhood. The homes are worse than what they should be, or what they are. The transportation hubs are worse than what they are. There's this projection of negativity that's lowering values more than what they should be.
So what happens if that black family moves to a white neighborhood? Does that devaluation follow them?
No, well, we looked at the concentration of blackness. So as long the whiter the community, the more you're coming close to market value rates.
Right.
And so it's a concentration of blackness matters.
Reverend McCoy, final question.
Yeah, from a quick one. From a policy standpoint, what can we do to improve that? Because I was participating in a town hall not too long ago in Chicago, and some of the representatives there didn't even understand it because we looked at the valuation of property there and in the west side and what it was right around the corner, and it was very different.
You know, a lot of the regulations that that occurred under the Obama administration have been eroded, and they were not perfect. What is clear, we do need race-based regulations. And some have argued we deserve reparations based on these numbers. Yeah. However, it is clear that there needs to be race-based policies that address the housing market, the real estate agents, appraisals, which are some of the most loose standards, and you get a variability there, and lending. All those things are have so much subjectivity in it that it negatively impacts black folk all across the board.
All the time.
All right.
Yep.
Doc, we certainly appreciate it, man. Thank you so very much. We'll definitely have you back on the show.
You're welcome.